biggest mistake I see people make when it comes to having an issue with alcohol is this idea of waiting until you lose everything to make a change. Needing to hit rock bottom is a myth, and it's a dangerous one. And to prove it to you, I've brought my friend Leon from the YouTube channel Sober Leon here to talk to you about his personal and professional experience with this exact issue. I've been a fan of Leon's for a very long time now because everything he says on his channel lines up perfectly with my own philosophies. I want you to pay close attention because Leon's going to outline for you the 4 signs that it's time to make a change.
If we picture a rock bottom, what exactly comes to mind? Probably somebody that's just been arrested, somebody that's just got a DUI, someone that's just checked themselves into a rehab, a wife that's just packed her bags, said, I've had enough of this. We get a number of images when we think of a rock bottom. Now, I've personally experienced countless numbers of rock bottoms. I've thrown up blood on a computer. I've, run out of money, borrowed money off my family. All sorts of crazy things have happened in my own life because of alcohol. But my definition of rock bottom is a little bit different. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can stop drinking alcohol without ever getting to rock bottom, without ever having to pick yourself up from ground zero and start again. I'm going to show you a different way to do things, and we'll unpack that today. Can't wait to share this with you. And shout out to Amber. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. I can't wait to share this with you guys. And just before we actually get into the video, a quick introduction. So my name is Leon Sylvester, and I founded a company called soberclear.com, where we've worked with over 300 business owners, professionals, and high achievers, and we've helped them take back control of their drinking. I have a YouTube channel with over 50,000 subscribers, 8 million views, and 500 videos. And I personally dealt with the drinking problem for almost 10 years, and I haven't drank for almost 5 years. And like I said, there have been a lot of rock bottoms along the way. So in short, I know a thing or two about helping somebody not drink alcohol and rock bottoms. So let's dive into it. So before we define a rock bottom and talk about how to stop drinking without hitting rock bottom, we first need to define why anybody drinks in the first place. The only reason why anybody drinks alcohol is because the perceived benefit of drinking that drug outweighs any negatives that happen in an individual's life. That's really the definition of addiction. People could have bad things happening, they could be out of shape, they could be feeling lethargic, but then in their head, the benefit of drinking the drug or taking the drug or whatever far outweighs the negatives that are happening in their life. And the crazy thing is that the worse things get for that drinker, the higher that they hold alcohol on a pedestal. And it becomes a very slippery decline where people just go down, 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 down. But then the attachment and the desire to drink goes up and up and up. So an individual can keep drinking despite bad things happening in their life. But a rock bottom is when it switches. It's when the negatives are so apparent, they're so smack bang in your face, that any benefits that you were basically lying to yourself that you thought that you got from alcohol have now disappeared. These perceived benefits have all gone. And what is actually remarkable is that an extremely heavy drinker can hit rock bottom and immediately overnight not drink and go months without drinking just because they got to such a dark place where they'd had enough and they stopped lying to themselves about these benefits that they thought they were getting, and they realized that they're gaining nothing from the alcohol anymore, and if they keep doing it, they could end up dead. They hit these rock bottoms and heavy drinkers can seemingly be cured in an instant, and that's the exact same drug that they'd been consuming for years, sometimes decades, and they've been struggling to stop drinking it for so long. But I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait until I get a DUI. I don't want to wait until my business collapses. I don't want to wait until my partner's saying that she's going to walk out the door. I don't want to wait till my kids are saying, I'm disgusted with you, I'm not talking to you anymore. I don't want to wait for that day. Does anybody? I don't think so. So let's unpack what needs to happen, and most importantly, what you need to do to get into a state of mind where you see no benefits to drinking without that huge negative experience smacking you in the face. Because I don't want that for you. So there are really 4 key things that you need to get your head around to make this a success. The first thing, and the most painful one of all, and the thing that catches up most people, you've got to stop BSing yourself. For 10 years, I just lied to myself again and again and again. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's going to be different this time. I'm going to control it this time. Oh, this time, I'm going through a very stressful period. Oh, well, I just need to drink tonight because I'm going to go for a date with a new girl. It's not like I'm drinking vodka on my cornflakes. Those people in the AA meetings, they drank way more than I ever will. Excuses. Until I truly got real with myself. Until I truly asked myself, what is alcohol actually doing for me? I just kept lying and lying and lying. And you know what the crazy thing is that I bought into those lies. They were beyond lies. They were fabricated beliefs that I made to just rationalize and justify my addiction to alcohol. But the first thing you got to do is get real with yourself. And the best question that you can ask yourself is this. Look back at your track record of drinking and look at how it's slowly increased over time, and look at how it just seems to increase more and more and more, because for most people, alcohol is an exponential curve where at the beginning it's fine, it's not a problem, then all of a sudden it starts getting really, really, really bad until bang, there's a tragedy. So ask yourself this. If you keep doing this for the next decade, where are you truly going to be? Get real with yourself and ask yourself, and the first answer that comes up to you is probably the real answer. Because you know what comes up for me when I'm honest with myself? Probably going to end up in a coffin. Probably going to end up 6 feet under. Probably going to have my mum burying her son. Imagine that. It's heartbreaking because there are people out there that do pass away from this. This is no joke. Listen, I don't want to get too negative in this video, but that is the reality that we're facing. We're just going to keep telling ourselves that it's going to be okay, that it's fine, that it's not a problem. It's madness, right? But then what do you do once you've got real with yourself? You've admitted to yourself that, do you know what, this is insanity. Well, what I did and what I help people do on my channel is I help people reframe the way that they view alcohol. What I did is I just got into a state of mind where I saw past the lies. I saw past this idea that alcohol added anything into my life. And I got to a place where I saw alcohol the same way that I'd see bleach, the same way I'd see drinking pool water, drinking chlorine, right? If I went out to a bar and instead of everybody drinking alcohol, everybody was drinking bleach, right? We've now got this vodka bleach. We've got this new beer, but instead of alcohol, it's bleach. Would I go to that bar? Yeah. I mean, if all my friends were there, I'm not going to avoid it. I'm not going to hide in the shadows, but I would feel no desire to drink, to join them. I'd look at them thinking, what's wrong with you? I mean, why would you drink that stuff? I know it sounds hard to believe, but that is how I feel when it comes to alcohol. I have no desire to put that stuff in my body, the same way I don't want to smoke a crack pipe. I see that as a drug. Yet with alcohol, it's different. Not because it's a different drug, but because everybody's buying into this idea that it adds value in your life, that there are benefits to drinking a poison. And this is the problem, right? If you truly believe there are benefits to drinking alcohol, you will keep drinking it as negatives keep coming up in your life until there's an explosion. And until you're able to see that there are no benefits and only bad things happen when you drink alcohol, that is when it's like an epiphany. That's when it's like, why would I do this? It's a logical choice. Now, getting into that state of mind takes work. It takes study. You know, I've spent hundreds of hours reading books and learning about alcohol and seeing what it is and how it affects my life. And it takes time, right? And it takes commitment. It takes you to say, do you know what? I'm willing to put it all on the table. Question everything that I thought I knew about this drug. But I promise you, that is going to pay off the biggest dividends of anything that you can do in your life if you've got a drinking problem. Study, learning, breaking things down into its component parts, breaking it down from first principles, looking at the problem. Once you do that, my word, it's going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever done. It's like all of a sudden you take off some glasses that weren't your prescription glasses and then you could see. You're like, whoa, how is everybody falling for this? The biggest fugazi ever. Which leads me to the third thing. And this thing is critical. You need to prove to yourself that the benefits of not drinking dwarf the perceived benefits that you used to have. And the only way that you can do this is by building momentum and building a great life for yourself. Now, I'm not saying that therapy and, you know, maybe in AA, they go make amendments to people. I'm not saying that stuff's not valuable, right? There's a time and a place. But at the same time, that cannot replace the idea of creating a vision for your life, deciding who you actually want to be, deciding what kind of value you want to create in the world, and moving into this better version of you. It can't replace that because you need evidence that life is better without alcohol. If you stop drinking and sit around and watch TV all day and change nothing about who you are or what you want next, what do you think is going to happen? What's the point? Like, we don't want to just stop drinking for the sake of stopping drinking. Unless you want to wait for rock bottom, and then you really are stopping drinking for the sake of stopping drinking, but we're trying to not wait for that. What we want to do is not wait for that DUI, not wait for that explosion. We want to get into a state of mind where we see alcohol for what it is, and then immediately start moving towards a better quality of life. And the fourth thing that you need to do, if you don't want to wait for rock bottom, is you need to stay committed and you need to stay vigilant. Now, if you commit to this path and you stick with it, you will face challenges. Because at the end of the day, we live in a world that wants you to drink. The financial incentive to get you to drink alcohol is absurd. It is massive. People that start alcohol brands are becoming billionaires. The incentive to get you to drink alcohol is massive. People want to market to you. People want to create these brands. They want to promote this drug, and you need to stay hyper aware. And that's why watching channels like Amber's, like mine, can be extremely helpful. So if you want to go and check out my channel, make sure to hit subscribe on it. Go down below. Hopefully Amber leaves a link to my channel in the description. And if you want details about my program, just head over to soberclear.com.